Hello, listeners, and welcome to Tales from the Crypt. Before we go ahead and get this episode rolling, I want to give you an update on the podcast. We just finished up Season 3 with our epic Season 3 Mega Dungeon finale. And while we are working on some awesome Season 4 content, we have been restructuring our recording cadence so that we can better manage our workload for the podcast. With that being said, we're taking a little bit longer to record some of the material for Season 4, but this scheduling approach should help us reduce any delays throughout the rest of the season. As such, we're taking a little break between Season 3 and Season 4. So what we're going to do is introduce you to a Season 3.5, and this intermediary season is going to consist of 7 episodes overall. All the episodes were released on our Patreon that we tried last year. Ultimately, we had some issues managing that workload as well, so we only ran that for a limited amount of time, but we had some really great episodes. So over the next several weeks, we'll be starting with Spire's and Hildegard, which will consist of 2 episodes that finishes up the introductory episode that we had on Season 3 of the podcast last year. That is a solo game played by myself. We will be releasing 1 episode of Iron Helm, which is a solo game played by Connor and is a fantasy dungeon crawler. And then we will be finishing up with one of my absolute favorite stories, the epilogue to We Deal in Lead, which was the final story of Season 1, featuring Betty Bob Cocker, Cal McRae, and Jesse Jane. That story arc is amazing. And if you haven't listened to it, go back and listen to that first, and then come back for the 3 episodes that comprise the epilogue. I'm very excited to bring these episodes to everyone, and I'm sure once we get to Season 4 and you guys hear the episodes that we've been cooking up, you'll appreciate this little break. Really just wanted to say thank you to all of our patrons who did subscribe and have already heard these episodes. Thank you very much for the support. It's been quite a few months since we've released anything on the Patreon, so at least you got to hear it first there, and we hope you're not too upset to hear them again. For everyone that hasn't listened to them yet, we hope you enjoy this small break from the norm for us, and we can't wait to bring you what we have in store. So without any further ado, here's episode 2 of Spires and Hildegard. Side note, you will be hearing a few things throughout these episodes about how they are part of the Patreon and all that. Please just ignore that. We appreciate all of our listeners, and we can't wait to get back to you soon. Welcome to Tales from the Crypt, and thank you for turning into this special bonus episode. If you're here, you're already a cherished Crypt Cat, and you probably already know what we're about. Content warnings can be found in the episode's description. I'm your host, your best friend, and benevolent Crypt Keeper, Riley Groves. Now sit back and enjoy this very special episode. Welcome everyone to a very special episode of Tales from the Crypt. This is our very first bonus episode on the top tier of our Patreon, and we are continuing to play Spires and Hildegard. The first part of this game can be found on our regular podcast channel. It is in Season 3, Episode 6, and we will be picking up right where that one left off. So if you're interested in hearing the first part and you haven't listened to it already, I would suggest you go listen to it on our regular podcast channel, as I think you'll be really pretty confused coming into it at this point. So we've already completed Chapter 1, and we're part of the way into Chapter 2. We're going to pick right back up with me fighting a bear. Without further ado, let's get into it. For my character, I have a hit accuracy of 3, which means I can use 3 dice. I still have my lone black wild shot die that will roll at the end of each of my turns. The grizzly bear has an accuracy of 3 as well to try to take me out, and has 7 hit points, so I need to land 7 hits before it fills up my meter. So we're going to go right for it. I only have 2 feats of marksmanship available to me, so this might be actually a pretty challenging fight. There's only 3 types of die that I can use to make my bullseyes here. A half circle with half a dot in it that's black, a full white circle, and a white dot. My first roll, I was able to get 1 full white circle. My second roll, however, I got nothing, and on my last shot there, I didn't get anything that made a combinations. So let's try our wild shot die, and it was also blank. So nothing going for me yet, which is not a great start, honestly. The bear, on the other hand, has so far done pretty well, hitting me with at least 1 hit. However, that is the only hit that the bear gets, so looks like I too have 7 HP, and he has taken me down by 1. One great thing about this game is there's so many little pieces, dice. It's tactfully really nice. Got lots to do. Alright, on my first roll here, I did in fact get a full bullseye. I can't get another one with that, so let's see if my shot die is going to help me or maybe hurt me. Oh, it helped me actually, so I got 2 bullseyes on that one, knocking the bear down to 5 HP left. Continuing on in the round. Really got to make sure that the bear doesn't get a half black circle on this one, and it doesn't. It would have been pretty bad news, as the bear has to hit me in a sequence of shapes, and he had the second and third one he would need, but he did not get the next one in line. So I'm going to stay at my HP where I'm at now. My next roll, I got another bullseye, which is awesome. And my shot die has brought up blank side, so I'm actually up on the bear 3-1, which is great news. Rolling for the bear again. Unfortunate, he did get 1 more hit on me, so it's now 2-3. Hoping to take out this bear. If I don't, I die, and then it'll be a pretty short episode. So, alright, I got 1 die that I need. Rolling 2 others. Oh, and the other 2 actually make a bullseye. So, I've got 1 more bullseye there. My shot die is blank. I'm doing pretty good. Way better than I was doing with the scarecrow. I am up 4-2. Rolling for the bear again. He got nothing, although I'm jealous of what he did roll. However, no, I wish I hadn't said that. He did get the next 2 hits on me, so that's now brought us equal. We're now 4-4. So I really need to put in some work here. I got another bullseye. I'll roll my shot die. And that's actually another bullseye too. So fantastic. I got the bear down to 1 HP. He's got me down to 3. So he could knock me out here still. I'm going to hold off on using any feats of marksmanship. Alright, the bear's got a couple he needs. I just need to make sure that he doesn't get it right here. Whew! Alright, blocked him on that one, which is really good. I got pretty nervous there. He had the last two that he would need, but he wasn't able to get the first one in the sequence. Nerve-wracking. Got to get it right here. Got to get it. I've got 2 die that might be helpful. I managed to get another bullseye. I'll roll my wild shot die. That's actually another bullseye too, which puts me over the limit. I beat the bear, hit him 8 times. I get a bonus on that, which will give me 2 more feats of marksmanship, which are fantastic because I had a lot of those at one point, and I used quite a bit of them, I think, in the scarecrow fight, which I barely made it out alive on. So, with a win, I'm going to go to card number 162. I will say, if you do pick up this game, and you're playing it and you don't have a lot of time to play it all at one time, definitely take your break in between chapters or make some good notes on where you left off. Luckily, I had a podcast to go back and listen to, but without that, I would say it would be really pretty difficult to figure out what was going on. Card number 162 is The Point. Wounded, the beast howls and falls back. You race up the steep path to a clearing with a giant oak tree at its center. Confident you are no longer being hunted, you stop and catch your breath. What is this place? Head to card 164. Point of interest. Put the following 14 cards into 3 groups numerically. These groups represent 3 locations of interest. Reveal a card from any location deck. You can move to a new location anytime, or go back and continue from the latest card revealed in any location, if that card allows. Once 6 cards are revealed and completed, you must discard all location cards and proceed to card 179. Alright, so we're going to lay these all out. Number 165 through 169 in one pile. Number 170 through 174 in a second pile. And 175 through 178 in the third and final pile. Alright, I have 6 choices here. Well, I've got 6 steps I can take anyways. I'm like pretty torn. The first two, the first one's 5 cards, the second one's 5 cards, and the third pile is only 4 cards. Like I feel like I want to go all the way through something to find out what it is at the end, but it'll limit me pretty hard on exploring the other 2 piles. I'm going to go middle of the road. I'm going to start with card 170. The tree. At the center of the clearing is a towering oak tree. Its thick, twisted branches adorn the sky in a complex weave that must have taken centuries. From these branches hang hundreds of red and black bags adorned with trinkets rustling together like wind chimes. You welcome their song on an otherwise cold and silent mountaintop. I can investigate the tree or go to another location. I'm going to keep investigating this tree. Now I'm intrigued. New arrivals. As you move closer, you notice 2 bags front and center. Unlike the rest, one black, one red, they're noticeably unweathered, with candles affixed and burning. New arrivals, perhaps. At the base of a tree is a stone shrine. I can shoot down the black bag, I can shoot down the red bag, or I can look at the shrine. I'm going to look at the shrine. That seems safer than shooting down some people's bags here in the tree. So I'm going to go to card number 174. I just don't really feel like fucking with that right now. Like, what if it's something nice? I don't want to be the bad guy shooting shit out of the tree. The shrine. An inscription reads, "We leave those we cherish within these branches. May their souls watch over us from atop this peak." Yeah, see, I'm not going to open that up and have somebody's remains pour out. That sounds terrible. So I'm going to head to another location. That's my 3rd card. I've got 3 left. I might as well see what the smaller pile is. So I'm going to go to card 175. Hanging precariously off the cliff is a bridge extending out to a basket large enough for a few people to stand in. An umbrella is sticking out of the basket's center. I will continue and investigate the device. Walk the plank. As gingerly as possible, you inch your way out onto the bridge. From this vantage point, you can see Crow Falls. The city looks dense and mysterious. You are eager to get down there and explore it. To the south, you can see the harbor and the river that leads to the Seacrest Cliffs. You suspect this basket is a means to travel to Crow Falls. There's a small lever at the end of the bridge in front of the basket. It reads north on top and south on bottom. Currently, the lever is set to north. I have the choice to move the lever to the south, look in the basket, or go to another location. I'm not going to go to another location right now. That seems silly. I only have one card left that I can pull. And so I'm a little wary of just moving the lever, and maybe the basket moves away from me, or should I just look in the basket? I'm going to look in the basket. I'm going to take that jump with my last card, because I feel like if anything's going to happen, it should be on that last card of the deck. So I'm going to go look in the basket. Despite every ounce of your being screaming for you to walk away, you climb into the basket. Inside you there is a wooden peg with a grip. You have a pretty good idea what'll happen if you pull that peg out. Plummeting down to Crow Falls in a dodgy umbrella doesn't sound so great. Go to another location. Well, I can't do that. That's my last card. Sounds like I kind of screwed the pooch on that one. Made some terrible choices as I didn't get any items, which I expect I probably would have if I had stolen people's remains, but who knows. And I did not find a shortcut down to Crow's Falls in the basket. So I'm going to continue on. I need to proceed to card number 179. The Avalanche. Your investigation is interrupted by a low rumble from above. You gasp in disbelief. Racing down the mountainside is a massive avalanche of snow, timber, and rock. You're forced to the cliff's edge near the human-sized basket dangling over the precipice. In the basket, there's nothing but a single wooden peg with a handle. You leap in and pull the peg south. Did you monkey around with the plank lever? If adjusted to south, go to card 180. I touched nothing, go to card 181. Kind of making me regret not pulling that lever. I told you all that I was not great at this game. You grab a hold as the basket drops down. The wind thrusts you into a violent spin. Then the umbrella portion of the device flings open with a firm snap. To your amazement, the device stabilizes and smooths out. You sail north through the night sky, past most of Crow Falls into a sparsely forested area. The basket lands clumsily in the brush and rests on its side. It will make a fine shelter. There's no telling what evil might lurk outside. You curl up and get some sleep. Go to card 202. Oh man, and card 202 brings us into chapter 3. Chapter 2 is pretty short. You wake to the gentle sounds of pattering rainfall on the outside of the basket. Wet, tired, and hungry, you wrestle your way through the brush to the north entrance of Crow's Falls. A guard promptly greets you. State your business. I'm here to find passage to Seacrest. She looks you over with little interest. Be quick about it. All steamers leave by noon, she says, bored. Before you can say anything more, she's moved on to another weary traveler. If I had the black or red bag, I could pull card 205 or 206, but I don't, so I'm going to move to card number 207, where I'm going to check out the town of Crow's Falls. Pull the following 29 cards into 6 groups numerically. Wow, so this is a lot like the last one we just did, but there are a lot more cards and a lot more choices. So my piles are 208 through 210, 211 and 212, 213 and 214, 215 through 229, holy crap, 230 through 232, and 233 through 236. These groups represent 6 locations of interest. Reveal a card from any location deck. You can move to a new location anytime, or go back and continue from the latest card revealed in any location, if that card allows. There is a limited number of cards you can reveal depending upon which card you came from. 201, 202, 203, or 204. For number 202, I can reveal 9 cards. Once you are out of options or reached your card limit, discard all location cards and proceed to card 237. So 9, that puts me at the second highest. Man, I feel like I want to knock off a bunch of these small ones and see if there's anything worth it. The 6 locations are the Atrium, the Street Fair, the Vault, Town Square, the Rusty Pint, and the Crow Society. I feel like I kind of want to stay away from the Vault, whatever that is. Doesn't sound like I need to mess with it. Also, the Crow Society doesn't seem overly, like they're a society. Looking at my inventory, I don't have anything that's like, hey, you'll be able to get into the Crow Society. So I may avoid that one. The atrium sounds pretty cool. The street fair is up there. Town square. The Rusty Pint is the one that has 14 cards to it. I can only go 9 spaces, so I'm assuming that there's different ways to go in there. You know what? I'm going to go first. I am going to go to the street fair. There's only 2 cards there, so I'll start there. Salt and Spit. You there, Crackerjack? Can you defeat the Njal of the river? See if you have what it takes. 1 shot, 1 gold. If you succeed, you will be rewarded with my world-famous salty nuts. Smell them. Take a whiff. You ready? You wipe the spit from your cheek. His sales pitch came on a little too close. Behind him are shabby wooden targets hanging from ropes. If you'd like a go, pay 1 gold and pull card number 212. Well, shit, I don't actually have any gold, so this might be tough. I wish I had some money, but I spent it all. So I'm gonna have to move to another card. That's being my first move. That sucks. So I'm gonna head to the town square. Crow Falls town square is bustling with activity. Farmers and traders from all corners of the realm are selling wares and exotic goods. Shit, I still don't have any money. I can either find and give Gilfie 5 gold at Fastful's request. I would like to shop around or go to another location. I would like to shop. I don't have anything to shop at though, or with. So I'm going to set that one down. Ugh. Already down 2, so I only have 7 things left. Maybe I'll try going to the atrium. That sounds like it might be free. Inside the atrium, you marvel over exotic plants from distant lands. A bald, tattooed man with a shovel is planting some trees. He gives you a quick wave. I can either give him the leaf fighter sapling or the silver cap mushroom. 2 things I do not have. Okay, strike 3. This is not going overly well. I feel like I have no business in the vault. I'm gonna go to the Rusty Pint. I feel like that might be my only choice. I feel like if I try to go to the Crow Society, it's gonna be like, hey, did you pick up the crow mask or the crow toes? And I won't be able to get in. Taverns are for everybody. So here we go. The Rusty Pint. You enter the Rusty Pint. The place looks empty. Hello, still serving breakfast, you ask. A small man pops up from behind the bar. I'm running low on ingredients. Those pirates ate everything I have. I'm closing up till tomorrow. That is, unless you have something we can cook. I haven't eaten myself. I might have something here. You start fumbling through your bag. And I can either give him a hawk or a pheasant egg. Okay, no hawk or pheasant eggs. I can give him burnt bat meat, which I definitely know I don't have. Or a silver cap mushroom. More things that I don't have. I was wrong about the Rusty Pint. Can't get in there. That is my 4th spot. I've only got 3 spots left that I can go. The Crow Society is 4 cards. The vault is 2. Alright, well here goes. Into the vault. Here at the south end of the town square, there's a tall building with a barred window. A stern man with a hooked nose is seated behind it. Naturally, you stroll up for a chat. Don't bother me unless you have a vault key, he says. Give him Vogg's vault key if acquired. Well, damn it, I've got Vogg's gift, but I never made it to his house. I've got his will, but no vault key, which means I missed so much. I made so many poor choices. I'm so sorry, listeners. I've been turned away from everywhere in town except for the Crow Society. I can't believe I don't have any of these items. It's supremely disappointing. I've now spent 5 of my turns. I think I did poor math before when I was calculating. I've got 4 left to the Crow Society. See if I have anything here. You pause at the door that catches your eyes. Black, red, and blue birds are carved on it with a small crescent panel in the middle. The panel slides open. Hand me 3 brooches. I can give him 3 brooches if all 3 are acquired. And I can tell you confidently that none are acquired. So 6 spots down. Nowhere to go. I guess I'm just going to go back to the town square and look at buying things, because that's really my only option. So I'm going to continue on. I would like to shop around the town square, so I'm going to go to card 232 for my 7th turn. Oh, and I run into a pickpocket. Oh, I should have kept exploring the town square earlier. You feel something brush you from behind. I now need to fight this man. Accuracy of 2. That makes it a little challenging. He's got a health of 3, so he's got 3 HP. And I only get 3 sets to try and catch him. So here goes my first one. All right, I got half of what I need. No dice on the second one, and no dice on my hit die. So great. Here we go again. All right, I got a half of what I need. Let's see, I got the second half. Let's roll our shot die. All right, I got 2 bullseyes on that one, so I got one more chance. Let's see if I can seal the deal here. I got half of what I need on the first roll. Oh boy, it's all down to the shot die. And there we go. There's a third one, actually. So my wild shot die came through for me. If successful, take 3 gold. Awesome. If you're unsuccessful, you lose 1 gold. If you have no gold, you must remove an item from your inventory. It can't be the mysterious package, slingshot, or boomerang. However, my only other option after that is to leave the town square. This is my 8th turn. Only one of these places takes money, so I guess I'm going to go back to the salt and spit and pay gold. I know I just acquired a gold, all that gold, but I'm eager to spend, so I'm going to go back to the salt and spit and try to get this guy's salty nutsack. So going back to card 212. The card is Squid Games. That's funny. I can have an accuracy of 4, so I can roll 4 dice. I get 1 shot. I need 2 bullseyes. Just about any combination of dice will do. So here we go. 4 die. All right. I got 1 die that I needed so far. I got, boy, 2. That would be helpful. I'm going to keep one of them. Reroll 2 die left. All right. I got 1 bullseye there. Let's see if I can get the second one here. I got the second one. No shit. Okay, cool. And my wild shot die actually gives me a 3rd one. So I succeed. If successful, place the salty nuts in your inventory. Otherwise, discard it. So I get the salty nuts. I feel like I've got so many of just the worst inventory items of all time. And I really can't do anything else. So I am going to end up leaving here and going to card number 237. Gotta say, Crow's Falls was kind of a bummer for me. Although, I shouldn't be too upset. I did make some gold, and I got some sweaty nuts. Salty nuts, not sweaty nuts. My bad. I've apparently played this game all wrong, though, up until this point. If I had nothing to do when I got to town. A little disappointed in myself. Window shopping. As you head towards the harbor, you notice an item in the shop window. Sitting front and center on a display shelf is an impressive-looking slingshot. Maybe you could squeeze in one more stop. I need that slingshot, 238, or I don't have time, 246. I really want that slingshot. I can't imagine that 2 gold is enough for it, but I can afford to run a little late. Maybe I won't miss the boat. So I'll go to 238, Crow's Falls Outfitters. Although you are running short on time, you want to stop by the local trading post. Here you can purchase and sell goods. Pull cards number 285, 286, and 287. Okay, you got those, 285, 286, 287. If you own the members only buckler, you are able to get 3 gold off each item purchased. Well, I don't have that. That sounds awesome. The 3 items that I can purchase from the store are the Falls Slingshot, which has a price of 15, only really far away from that. The Renewal Orb, or the Clairvoyance Orb. Both of those orbs cost $10. However, the Crow's Fall Outfitters will purchase certain things from me, so they will purchase any pelts at 2 gold. I happen to have 2 pelts, which I was wondering what to do with them earlier, which is awesome. They would also purchase the Chestnut Popper, which I have. They would also purchase the Magnet Lure, which I also have. But that is it as far as stuff that I have that they want. Which unfortunately only gives me 6 gold, which only brings me up to 8. Finally get rid of some of those weirder things in my inventory, but leaves me without some really cool things. The slingshot, you get hone on your first set of each strike. This ability can only be used on archer strikes in chapter 4. So don't know what those are yet, but we're going to miss out on that. Any wild shot dice acquired can be used. We only have the 1 still. The Clairvoyance Orb, use any bullseye combination on a target or face-off. The Clairvoyance Orb can only be used for 1 bullseye per target or face-off. Discard after 3 uses. That would have been really helpful. Or the Renewal Orb. On your initial rolls on a target or face-off, you have the option to re-roll all shot dice. The renewal orb can only be used once per target or face-off and gets discarded after 3 uses. So those would have been really probably pretty helpful. I feel like I'm going in at a little bit of a disadvantage now. That's about status quo for me in this game, though, it seems. So I am going to continue towards the harbor. I'm going to race towards the harbor and go to card number 239. Despite a solid effort, you arrive at the harbor a moment too late. The last steamboat has left. Wait, you yell, but it's no use. The boat's engine is loud and there's no way they can hear your call. You need to find a way onto that boat. Beside you is a rowboat, too wide for one person to row. A few paces away is the harbor's main line of defense. A row of catapults set to strike invaders by water. The soldier assigned to this post is asleep on the job. I can either get into the catapult or get in the rowboat. My only choice is get into the catapult because it is the only one for a 1-player option. You need 2 players to get into the rowboat. This is a poor choice. I will go to card 240. Excellent decision, you think, as you sit in the basket tethered to a boulder. The catapult lever is next to the snoozing crow's false soldier. You're going to need a powerful shot to activate it. Alright, I'm attacking this catapult lever. Accuracy of 3. I get 2 chances. It has a health of 2. I got 1 bullseye. I'll keep that. Let's check the wild die. I got it on my first try. And I actually meet the criteria for the bonus by what I rolled. I rolled 1 dot and 2 half circles. So I actually get an additional feat of marksmanship. So I've currently got 6 of those. That's amazing. So on a hit, go to card 242. I still think I'm going to die right after this. This is a terrible decision. With a luck you don't deserve, your shot knocks the lever down, catapulting you into the air. Air surfing with absolute precision, you land softly in the ballast nig on the steamboat's port side. It defies reason or plausibility, but you're alive, uninjured, and aboard the steamboat. Well done. Go to 247 to meet the captain. I can't believe that worked. I don't think this would work in real life, which is why I didn't choose it. Because I keep choosing wrong because I feel like I'm trying to make reasonable decisions, and maybe that's not what we're supposed to be doing here. You approach the riverboat captain. Miss, I am looking for a ride to Seacrest. I'm in no mood for company on the river today. You're taking me, you say, then wish you hadn't. Oh, really? Her ferret snarls, poised to attack. I can shoot the ferret, or show a note, or a steamboat ticket, if I had those. But I don't. Can't wait till one day I have something that'll help me out in these situations. So go to card 248. The ferret. It has a HP of 1. I get 1 attempt to get 1 bullseye with 3 dice. I did match. Okay, let's check my wild shot. Blank on that side. Madeline is surprised to see you draw your weapon. However, she doesn't seem overly concerned. On a hit, go to 250. This was definitely not a good decision. You snap off a loose warning shot. The ferret catches the pebble in its teeth and drops it in Madeline's open palm. To your surprise, Madeline begins to laugh. You got spunk. I like that. Well, you're here and I could use a hand with a few things. I'll let you tag along, but if I catch you doing anything fishy, I'll toss you overboard. Place this moment in your inventory and go to 252. Alright, better than expected. River Leisure. This is a great spot to fish, Madeline suggests. You can fish if you have a fishing pole. I do. Madeline offers you 1 whistle cricket and 1 stinkworm. Take your bait, 1 black cube and 1 yellow cube, and pull the 3 fishing cards, number 284. Alright, finally gonna get to do some fishing again. I got my 3 fishing cards here. I'm gonna lay them out in a line. We got 1 black cube and 1 white cube, or gold cube, I guess. I'm gonna place the whistle cricket on the first card. I'm gonna place the stinkworm on the last card and skip the middle. So for fishing, I have an accuracy of 3, 1 chance to get it done, and I only need 1 bullseye. So I'm going to go with the whistle cricket first. Got 3 dots. I'll keep one of them. Rerolling 2. I got 3 dots again. All right. One last chance here. Somehow I rolled 3 dots in a row. So I lose my whistle cricket. I do not get that one. So I'm going to try now with the stink worm. All right. I got 1 die that matches. Something I can use. Oh, I got 3 of the same thing. This is very weird. But I did manage to get a bullseye. So let's flip that card over. Hopefully the fish on the other side likes stink worms. And it does. It's a hickory pike. It could have been caught by the whistle cricket or the stink worm. The crown jewel of local fishing. All right. All players can now use the blue wild shot dice. Awesome. If caught, place in your inventory. So I'm going to place that hickory pike in there. I'm going to upgrade my black wild shot dice, which had only 2 bullseyes on it. 1 side that takes away a dice and 3 blanks. I'm going to upgrade it to the blue one, which has 2 bullseyes on it, 1 negative, and then 2 other symbols. One symbol is like an arrow, and that is instinct. I can change 1 shot die roll to any result I choose, which is amazing. And 1 is ricochet. Reroll 1 shot dice of your choice. So both of those are really good. It says here that the blue one is the highest tier wild shot dice. So I just had a major come up in the last few rounds. So I'm not feeling as bad as I was about never having anything, because I love fishing. I caught a dope fish. It helped me out tremendously. I got $8 in my pocket, 5 feats of marksmanship. I'm doing okay. I might not have all the possessions in the world, but possessions are not everything. And so from there, I have the option to chat with Madeline, or give the ferret salty nuts or trail mix if acquired, or do some riverboat chores. I'm going to give away these salty nuts to this ferret I tried to shoot. I feel like that would be a kind gesture after trying to shoot it in the face, and maybe like it'll make my relationship with the boat captain a little bit better. Typically, a critter like this would mean one thing: a potential pelt for trade and gold in your pocket. But this one seems different. You offer it a handful of snacks. The ferret accepts and leaps onto your shoulders. The fur tickles the back of your neck. Discard the salty nuts or trail mix and place this moment in your inventory. All right, getting rid of the nuts, replacing it with a moment with the ferret, and moving on to do some riverboat chores, number 256. The pressure gauge. Madeline shows you to the boiler room and hands you a shovel. Feed this with coal. Give it a good 6-7 shovelfuls, wait, then watch this pressure gauge. You want the needle in the yellow, and closer to the green, not in the red. The pressure release valve is busted, and if it climbs too high, we'll explode. Roll a set of 4 shot dice. Fill the gauge meter squares below with marker cubes that you match in numerical order. You may finesse the shot normally, but no feats, effects, or wild shot die may be used. All numerically matching rolls at the end of your set must be used. No squares can be skipped. If you are unable to match any squares in order, fill all 4 squares. Keep this card with your results to reference later. So it's got 4 cubes at the bottom with matching symbols. The first one's a green cube with a single dot in the center. The second 2 are yellow cubes. One's got a full white circle, one's got a half of a black circle, and the 4th one is a half of a white circle that is in red. So we're going to roll these, see what we have matching. I've got the green one, I've got the first yellow one, then the next 2 I have to re-roll. I've got the 3rd one, so I'm going to re-roll. I don't know why. I forgot what would be the 4th one, but re-rolling that one, I did not get it. Okay, so I've got the first 2. I've got the green dot and the yellow circle. I think that's what she said we wanted anyways, was the first. We wanted it in the yellow, but closer to the green. As far away from blowing up as we could be is preferable. And I'm going to continue on with my chores. After 30 minutes of shoveling and monitoring the pressure gauge of death, you hear a loud bang from outside. You brace yourself, half expecting the boiler to explode. Thankfully, it doesn't. Then comes another loud crash. The bolt jolts to one side, smacking you into the wall. You rush up on deck. Not good. Reveal 1 of 3 of the 258 cards. Alright, gonna lie them out. You know, I skipped the center one for catching fish the first time, so I'm gonna go with it now. River eel. Okay. The river eel has a bullseye, or has an HP of 2. I have an accuracy of 3 and 2 sets, so I can roll 3 dice twice. It's got a stretch bonus here of a 3rd bullseye. I can use a full circle and a dot, or the black half circle with half a dot in it. Impaired, if a half white circle or a half white circle with a half a dot and it remains at the end of a completed set, remove 1 bullseye if applicable. Only 1 bullseye can be removed per set. Alright, here we go. I'm ready with my new shot die. Take down the eel. I got 1 of what I need. 2 more chances. Neither of those are helpful. Okay, that's not helpful at all. Actually, I screwed the pooch on that one. Ooh, but I can change a result to something that I want. And I am going to change one of my dice into the dot. Thank you, wild shot die. That's going to give me 1 bullseye. My last remaining dice does not match the impaired one, so let's try now. I got the dot again. I got 2 things. I've got 2 die that could work out for me here. So I'm going to keep 2, reroll 1. I got the dot, so that's amazing. So I got the 2. I'm going to roll my wild shot die. I got a 3rd bullseye, so I'm going to take my 3rd feat of marksmanship first. That maxes out my tracker. I'm getting pretty nervous. We haven't fought like a boss in a while since the beginning of the episode. I hit it, so I'm going to go to 259. Let's hope that's our last interruption. The river can churn up all sorts of surprises, Madeline says. I get nervous when the boat gets banged around. Besides blowing up, I've had the boat torches knocked off in the past. Without them, the chances of late night attacks increase dramatically. We should consider ourselves lucky. The sky begins to blaze a pastel orange as the sun sets. You aren't feeling lucky. Not tonight. Yeah, I'm not. Definitely. The torch is saved. Place this moment in your inventory. Alright. I've got a lot of moments right now on this boat. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But I'm going to go sleep in the guest bunk. Rude awakenings. Your accommodations aren't bad for a volatile steamboat on the fritz. There's a cozy bed attached to the wall for you to curl up in. You slide into some warm, albeit dusty blankets. Sadly, it's just not meant to be. The force of sudden impact flings you out of the bed and mashes you against the opposite wall. You're sensing a pattern here. Reveal cards 262 through 270. Great, these ones got cannonballs on the back of them. Oh boy. There is a lot of instructions. Just when I talk about a boss not being here, I got to draw a bunch of cards. 3 of them have instructions on them. One of them has a big cannon, which is cool. One of them has a pressure gauge. Oh god, okay. One of them has the steamboat itself. And then I have 3 cards that are the left tentacles, the right tentacles, and a river nyal. River squid instructions. Hildegard can only shoot at either the right or left tentacles. If either tentacle is defeated, discard it. So each tentacle has an HP of 3. The right tentacles, left tentacles, and river nyal have separate attacks, treated as separate enemies. The steamboat hit meter functions the same way as the Hildegard hit meter. Yep, that makes sense. Please note that block items, if acquired, may be used on the steamboat hit meter. Alright, I'm just setting up my cards as it's shown me in the thing. Lay out the cards as pictured. And continue to 263. Bonus, if you have the candle or the torch is saved moment, Hildegard has hone on the first set. Awesome, so I did save those. So on the first set, I do get an additional dice, which is awesome. Moving on to the next set of instructions here, which is the pressure gauge. I have a pressure gauge, steamboat, and cannon in front of me. as well as the evil octopus. Place a marker cube on the square on card 262 that coincides with the gauge meter results from 256. Alright, so right now I am only 2 levels up on the pressure gauge, which is great. I did good earlier. This is your pressure gauge level starting point. During the face-off, Hildegard and the cannon operator may spend any bullseye combination during a set to move the level 1 square up or down. If the right tentacles, left tentacles, or River Njal damage the steamboat by filling a hit square, move the pressure gauge level up a square. Any status effects applicable will occur until the level changes, either graze or tame. The face-off ends when either the River Njal or the steamboat is defeated. When either occurs, reveal the appropriate card below. Okay. Last card here for the instructions. Cannon operator instructions. While Hildegard shoots from the deck, Madeline is operating the ship cannon. In one-player games, you will act as Hildegard and the cannon operator, both with their own sets. The operator will roll their loading set, hit accuracy of 4, then use whatever they can to fill the cannon meter, numerically only. When the cannon meter is filled, they may immediately roll a firing set at the River Njal. This is performed the same way as a regular set. The hit accuracy again is 4. Firing sets inflict mega bullseyes on the River Njal. Only mega bullseyes can wound it. Important note, the cannon operator cannot fire at the tentacles. Once Hildegard defeats both tentacles, she can help the cannon operator by rolling her sets toward filling the cannon meter. Also note, no wild shot is rolled on a loading set, only on a firing set. Positive effects in play do not carry over to a firing set. Feats cannot be used on the River Njal. Only right and left tentacles. Alright, so long story short, I can only use my feats of marksmanship as Hildegard while I shoot at the tentacles. Madeline, the steamboat operator, is the only one that can load up a cannon. The way this is going to go, I'm going to roll first as Hildegard, shooting at either of the tentacles, trying to get some bullseyes. Then I'm going to roll some dice to see if I fill up the cannon meter as Madeline. And once that is filled, then I can shoot it. Along the way, the tentacles in the River Njal are going to attack back. I guess it's technically a river squid. And they're going to be hitting at the boat, which is going to fill up my pressure gauge. So I'm going to have to be cognizant about that. Doesn't look like my feats of marksmanship can do anything for the boat itself to block any of those hits. So I may just have to use them to take out these tentacles pretty quick. And on my first set, I have an extra die, so I can roll 5. And here we go. Here we go as Hildegard, rolling 5 dice at first. I'm going to aim at the right tentacles first. My first roll, I got 2 full circles, which I'm going to keep. My next 3 did not do anything for me. Alright. Okay, I got 1 bullseye. Let's see what my shot die does for me. That's a second bullseye. Okay, I'm going to remove 1 pressure gauge preemptively. And I'm going to add 1 bullseye to the right tentacle. So he's down to 2 HP on the right tentacle. I figured giving my pressure gauge some space would be preferable at the moment. So now we're going to roll a loading die for our cannon. So I'm rolling 4 die. I got the first die that I needed. I got the third. I'm going to try to re-roll. Okay, I'm going to keep 1. I need the next one numerically. Okay, I got the second one. I've got 3 out of the 4 that I need. Alright, I've got my cannon loaded to 3 spots, so... And the river squid itself only has a HP of 4, but it can only get taken out by the cannons until I'm done. So, we're going to roll for the tentacles first. It's only got an accuracy of 2. Okay, the left tentacles don't hit at all. The right tentacles miss, which is great. The squid itself has a accuracy of 3. No hits yet. That'd be great. Oop, that's 1. Okay, so it got one hit. My pressure gauge goes up by 1. Okay, and my riverboat takes 1 hit. Oh, I'm actually pretty stupid. I can block shots on the boat here. I did not look at the card hard enough. So I'm going to spend 4 of my feats of marksmanship to block the first 4 hits that are going to come onto the boat. So I'm going to prevent that first one from happening, which means I'll have to roll again, giving myself a pretty good advantage and leaving my pressure gauge down at 1. Then I'm going to attack it again as Hildegard. So aiming at the right tentacles first. I got 1 die that'll match. Rerolling 2. Come on, baby. Alright, I got 1 bullseye. Re-rolling my wild shot die. I can change one into something else, but that won't matter at the moment. So I've done a second hit on the right tentacles. I'm going to roll my loading die now. Okay, I was able to get my last die for what I needed. So now I'm going to shoot my cannon at the river Nile. What? It's Njal. Somebody in the comments tell me what that means. Alright, I got 3 possible combinations here. I managed to get 1 bullseye. Roll my wild shot die. I can change another one into something that I want. I love this dice. So I'm going to change that. That's going to give me 2 bullseyes actually into the squid itself, which is fantastic. So the left tentacles are still at 3 HP, full health. The main squid body has 4 and is down to 2. The right tentacles, which started with 3, is down to 1. It is now the tentacles and the squid's turn, however. Okay, at the end of theirs, they did hit me the first time, so that shot was already blocked. They would have hit with the second one, but I blocked that one. So my pressure gauge goes up 1. I take 1 hit. The squid is going to go. The squid got the second one. This is not going great. I still feel like I'm doing good. I've got 2 more blocked. I've got 2 more feats of marksmanship. I can block 2 more, but it's the right tentacle's turn. It has no matching die yet. No matching die for that one. So doing pretty good. My pressure gauge, however, is at 3 out of 4. So I'm gonna be kind of wary of that. The steamboat health is at 6 out of 8, which is fantastic. So I'm doing all right there. So as Hildy, I'm going to try to roll some good die here. I've got 1 bullseye already. And that is all I'm going to get from that one. My wild shot die, however, gave me a second bullseye. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use one of those to take a cube away from the pressure gauge, bring that back down to half. I am going to use my second bullseye to take out the right tentacles. So they are obliterated now. This beast is down to only its left tentacles and its body. Now it's time to roll my loading die for my cannon. I've got some dice later in the sequence, but nothing. I got the first one, and I've got the third one and the fourth one. Let's see if I can make it happen. I could not, so I only loaded 1 die into my cannon. So that's pretty disappointing. So let's see what the squid's left tentacles can do. They don't match any of their symbols, which is great. The rest of the squid has the one in the 4th sequence. It still needs to get the right die in the 3rd one, but doesn't do it. All right. I'm getting pretty nervous. The longer this drags on, the worse I feel like it's going to be for me. So as Hildegard, I'm here to take out this stubborn squid. Here we go. I only got 1 that matches anything on the left tentacle, so I'm going to reroll 3. Ooh, baby. I got 1 bullseye so far. I've got a good chance of getting a second one. I got a second one, which is awesome. Let's make sure that doesn't change with my wild die. My wild die actually allows me to re-roll one of them if I wanted to. Alright, I was able to complete half of that bullseye. So I got 2 bullseyes that time. I feel like I should put them right on... Yeah, I'm going to put them right on the tentacle. I'm going to go for it. Alright. Loading die. for the cannon, I got the second in the sequence, I got the third in the sequence, and I actually got the fourth in the sequence. So, my cannon is fully loaded. Time to shoot at the big dumb squid. Alright, I didn't get anything, but I did get 3 halves, so there's a good chance I'm going to roll 1 die, and I did get 1 more bullseye, so now I'm going to roll my wild shot die. I can take out the fucking head of this thing right now. Oh, I actually have to remove 1 die, that's not going to matter, so only 1 bullseye for that. The main body of the squid is down to 1 HP, the left tentacles, which are the only ones left, are also down to 1 HP. It is the squid's turn. Left tentacles are going first. You cannot match it numerically, which is awesome. I feel like I'm doing pretty good now. I'm on a roll. The squid has the... Oh shit. The squid just matched the third one numerically, which would be blocked. And it actually had the second one after that as well. However, those were both blocked. So now I'm out of blocks. My boat is completely defenseless. Neither of those counted as hits though, so it needs to roll again. My ship has no more defenses, but it's my turn. Hildy's here. Gonna take out a left tentacle. I rolled no matching die on that one, so we'll keep just one of them. Reroll 3. I'll keep a full circle in case I can get a dot, which I did, so I could get a bullseye for my pressure gauge. Although that's looking pretty good right now. I'm pretty comfortable. So I'm gonna take out the left tentacle. That's my mission. Alright, I did not get it on that. Shot die says I can change 1 dice completely into another one. I'm gonna do that, give myself that last bullseye, take out the squid tentacle, leaving just its dumb little head at 1 HP. It's time for my loading die, my loading set. I matched the second symbol and the third symbol and the fourth symbol. I'm gonna re-roll 1. If I can get it, this is a miracle. Holy shit, I actually got it. No joke, I got all 4. I re-rolled 1 die, loaded up my cannon, so my cannon's ready. I get to take my firing shot. The squid you can pretty much make any combination on, which I did. I got 1 bullseye. I have to roll my wild shot die. And I did, and I hooked it onto the floor, and it was negative, so I do have to remove 1 die and 1 result, but that's not a big deal, because I had 2 extras that I wasn't doing anything with, giving me my last bullseye on the squid. To beat that, I get 2 feats of marksmanship just for beating it, as a little bonus to myself, which is great, because I used quite a bit of those, and I have defeated the squid. And I'm in the yellow, so I'm going to go to card 271 for winning with my gauge in the yellow. You watch as the colossal beast slackens, then sinks into the river. The current pulls at its withering tentacles until it is completely submerged into the sea-green river depths. We need to get moving before the big one finds us, Madeline says, concerned for the first time. The big one? Are you kidding me? She storms off into the boiler room. The riverboat pistons begin to chug and the whistle belts out. The steamboat speeds down the river. Discard any moments with Madeline, if required. Discard the torches saved, if required. And discard the candle, if required. Well, okay. Moment with Madeline. And the torch is saved. Those are both off the table now. Go to card 290. The gloom of the gray skies and cold ocean air can't dampen your excitement to finally arrive. You've been delivered to Seacrest, as promised, without exploding, sinking, or being eaten by giant fish. You're welcome, Madeline winks and tosses a rope to a deckhand. Don't go spreading the word that I offer free rides down the river. I'll see you later, kid. She hands you something wrapped in cloth and hops back on the boat. It's farewell for now. Place the Marksman Greaves in your inventory. Retrieve and reveal card 289 if it's not already. Shield explained. Bravo! You have uncovered an item with a block effect. Each item acquired with a block effect grants you 1 block on the hit meter at the start of every face-off. A block from a block item can only be placed once per face-off. Remember, blocks must be placed in numerical order from left to right, and no spaces can be left between them. Got that done already. Move to Seacrest number 293. And with that brings us to the end of Chapter 3. And to move into Chapter 4 with me, and to hear what happens next and see how I fare down the road, you'll have to tune in to next month's episode. So until then, see you next Tuesday. That's it for today's very, very special episode, Crit Cats. We hope you've enjoyed listening as much as we've enjoyed playing. These bonus episodes wouldn't be possible without all of you, so thank you so much, and we can't wait to have you back. Tales from the Crit is a Wolfbeard Games audio podcast, and if you're not following our Instagram or YouTube channels yet, please go check us out at Tales from the Crit Podcast. I guess the big question now is, are you ready to rumble?